This game was nuts. The Lions played bad football for 55 of 60 minutes this game. Their time of possession was 19 minutes and they had 4 turnovers. Mark, do you know how many teams that had a time of possession of less than 20 minutes and 4 turnovers? How many of them have won football games in the past 30 years?
0-48.
And now it is 1-48. So, for those who haven't watched this game, if you have the ability to replay it, I just highly suggest watching.
Just watch the last 4 minutes.
Yeah,
just watch
it was
the last
a nail
4 minutes.
biter.
So
That
crazy.
whole fourth quarter.
And look, we have a little POV. Mark was in attendance and got to see the Montgomery revenge touchdown in real time.
Fun fact, John, I was sitting, somehow my seats were gifted to me. Somehow I was in the family, like the player's family area. So I was sitting next to Derek Barnes's pregnant girlfriend / wife. I'm not really sure. And then 2 rows in front of me were Montgomery's posse of family, and they had like 20 dudes deep, all wearing Montgomery stuff. And you could tell this game meant something to him. And I went with one of my buddies, and I turned to him on that last drive. First of all, people started leaving with about 6 minutes left in the game. After that field goal by the Bears, people started leaving. Like a decent amount, I'd say 20%, 25% of the crowd left. And I looked at my buddy and I was like, we're staying. Like, we have to see this thing out. And I said on the last drive after J-Mo's touchdown, first of all, that end zone 2 that I was in is where all of the action happened. First touchdown of the game happened there. J-Mo's touchdown, Amon-Ra's touchdown, the Hutch strip sack, the game-winning touchdown for Monty, all happened in that end zone. So I had like the perfect seat for everything. Nothing happened in the other.
That game-winning TD was prophetic, dude. Like literally,
I'm telling you,
as soon as they got there on the field, I was like, "You're handing this to Montgomery."
You're handing John. I said it when we got the ball back, because I have Montgomery in fantasy too. So I turned to my buddy. I'm like, listen, they're gonna get it down to the 1. They're gonna give it to Monty, and he's gonna score. And this place is gonna erupt. It's gonna erupt. And exactly when Gibbs gets tackled on the 1, I look at him and go, "Holy shit, it's gonna happen." There's no doubt in my mind it's gonna happen. And it exactly happens. It was like the coolest thing ever, dude. Like the crowd erupted. Just so much goes into that. The fact that it was Monty who scored it. Obviously, the comeback was insane. Goff looked horrible the whole game. I mean, the interceptions were bad, and it was nobody's fault but his own. I mean, they were all just quarterback's fault interceptions, like really, really bad.
He had 2 that could have been picked off, too, on top of it, too.
I know. 2 that should have been pick sixes on top of it. It was really, really bad. And the defense stinks. The Lions' defense is not good. You can't convince me that they are good. It's like they didn't practice how to stop a running quarterback. Like Justin Fields, you knew was going to play. Dan Campbell said it on last week that he expects to see Fields, and they did not at all prepare for his legs at all. Like, I mean, they ran zone read probably over 15 times, and every single time was like you're looking at.
They are horrible against mobile quarterbacks. I do want to quickly say the defense, no matter what happens, is not going to look great if the offense turns over the ball 4 times. I mean,
yeah, but John, honestly, this isn't a new problem. I mean, we couldn't stop the Chargers last week, and Herbert's not exactly a mobile quarterback. We couldn't stop the Ravens. Anytime we play a functional offense, it seems like this defense has not looked good. Like, so they need to fix some things defensively if we 100%. really want to contend. Because right now we're not even a good defense. Like, we're a bad defense. Like, there's nothing we're really doing well. I mean, we got the strip sack at the end of the game, but we really didn't create pressure on Fields the rest of the game. So it's a problem without a doubt. Can't stop the run, can't pressure the quarterback, and you can't cover great. It's definitely a problem. But offensively, like you said, you turn the ball over like that, sloppy game, you still find a way to win. It's a lot better to be 8-2 and have a bad game like that and look at the film and get better after it than it is to have to take a loss and look at that film.
Also, the goldfish memory of Jared Goff to throw that many interceptions and still have the freaking cojones to thread the balls to Amon-Ra. I mean, seriously, like, hats off to Goff for that. Because look, as a quarterback, no matter how good you are, you're going to have games like this every once in a while. It just happens. Goff has traditionally been very good at taking care of the football the past 2 years. This was not his game, clearly. For him to recognize, hey, we got to win this game, and I'm going to have to make some ballsy throws to do it, and still doing that is crazy. Like,
John, can you pull up the clip of the J-Mo? Yeah. So this is the J-Mo touchdown.
I want so much of this.
This is the J-Mo touchdown. this is to make it a one-score game. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can see the breakdown of the coverage and what's happening. I'll do my best to verbally explain it. But they basically lined up in a tight alignment, a squeezed formation with Amon-Ra and JMO stacked, right? What this does is you don't know who's going to go in, who's going to go out, where they're going to break. Obviously, defenses are going to over-prepare for Amon-Ra because he's so heavily targeted and because he's such a consistent go-to guy for Goff. So what happens is they play like a one-high safety look. The safety gets beat vertically because JMO's speed, right? Then the corner, who's supposed to also have that deep third of the field, gets nosy on Amon-Ra because of, it's Amon-Ra St. Brown. You're going to have eyes on him. And so JMO actually runs and gets behind a deep third corner and a deep third safety. And then Goff puts this right on the money. But it's the fear of Amon-Ra that makes this so wide open, mixed with the speed of JMO. And then obviously a great ball from Jared Goff. But
again,
it's
hats
great
off
play design.
to Ben Johnson. Yeah, hats off to him. And also, that is a safety's worst nightmare, to have an insane vertical threat and then the under with some of the best hands heavily targeted.
And really, John, it wasn't even the safety's fault. Like, the corner has deep third, which is where that ball was caught. And the reason it was open is because he hesitated and didn't get on top of JMO because he was respecting Amon-Ra. So he got nosy, saw Amon-Ra outbreaking. He jumped that, realized, oh shit, this JMO's in my zone behind me, and before he could get there, Goff delivered a dime in between the zone coverage for the score. It was a great play call at the time, and even before the play, JMO even said Amon-Ra, like when they were stacked, and Amon-Ra said, "Hey, it's coming to you, it's coming to you, it's coming to you." And because Amon-Ra, just being the smart receiver that is, he's a savvy guy. He could recognize the coverage and saw what was about to happen. So just really cool, just insight to a play that helped them win that game, but you don't really always hear the details behind it. And hopefully, if you hadn't already heard that, you did hear.
Yeah, so look, I said that I am going to wait to have my opinion on Jameson Williams until after the season is over, and I'm going to maintain that. Two things I want to mention with this. If that Chargers touchdown did not get called back, Jameson Williams would have a touchdown in 3 out of the 6 games that he's played so far. Additionally, this is the first game in his entire career with the Lions where he's had over 50% of the offensive snaps. He had, I think, 40 snaps this game. So 2 things to kind of keep an eye on moving forward here. It took Gibbs, 8 weeks to really get going offensively. JMO is now 6 games into this season, and last year he was recovering from an ACL tear. I'm simply saying, if you're completely out on this guy, I think you are too early to that. And if you're all in on him, you have not seen shit to have that opinion in the first place. Just let this dude develop, for the love of God. One thing that is for sure, though, is this man has horrible taste in food. So before the season started, he was melting American cheese onto hot Cheetos. He was just putting the slices on and throwing it in the microwave. And then the newest phenomenon that has happened, for those that aren't aware, is the JMO burger. Mark, do you know what the JMO burger is?
I've seen it, yeah.
Zach?
No. I've heard about it. I don't know what it is.
This dude is putting Oreo McFlurry onto his McDouble.
Oh, my Lord.
And people in Detroit are trying it in celebration of winning the game.
People say it's actually not half bad.
No, they said it's pretty good. They said it actually complements the burger. And look, I'm a fries in my Wendy's Frosty guy. I'll do that. So honestly, this isn't too many jumps from that. The thing that freaks me out about it is the fact that there's meat involved. It just kind of trips me out. Meat and ice cream does not sound like a good combo. And the other condiments, right? Ketchup on that. That just, those two things mix.
John Drew has a good point in the comments. Is it weirder to be doing that as a Lions fan, trying that burger with that on there, or shave your eyebrows in the Minnesota Dobbs mania?
What is the NFC North this year?
Dude, the NFC North, what's going to happen if Jordan Love and the Packers somehow steal the division? What are they going to start doing? What's the whole Jordan Love thing?
Yeah. We don't have to say anything about the Bears because they suck, so we don't
have to
worry about that. The minute Justin Fields started dancing is when everything started.
Hey, how good is it too that Hutch, against an Ohio State quarterback, gets the strip sack to seal the game the week of the game? If that's not a little glimpse into what Saturday's going to look like, then I don't know what is. And he missed a huge missed opportunity to flash the M after doing that.
Yeah.
He got all excited and punted the ball, God knows, 3,000 feet into the air. But, like, how do you not flash the M even a little bit during that celebration? Like, you
The
have
punt
to
was
have
hard,
it.
though. The
punt was cool, dude. And honestly, it was right by me. I was, like, hoping that thing was going to come off a little bit weird to me. Would have mossed some little girl to steal that ball. But, I mean, whatever. What are you going to
do? The other big question that I want to ask, like, Justin Fields had a really good game overall, I would say.
Dude, he's lethal with his legs, man.
They
use him like a high school quarterback.
Right. What the hell are they going to do when it comes to them probably having the first and second overall picks in the draft?
I don't know, but I know they'll mess it up.
Get him a weapon.
If I know the Bears, I know they'll mess it up.
Yeah, Ryan Poole sucks as a GM. I'll say it. I mean, you blew all that cap space on linebackers that clearly couldn't do shit this game. So I don't know, like, because now you're not in the same favorable cap situation that you were in. You blew, I want to say, $110 million of cap space on 2 linebackers and a defensive end that you traded a second-round pick for. I mean, what, like, because you could go Marvin Harrison Jr. and you could go offensive line or defensive end, but I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're more likely to trade Fields away and try to, grab Caleb Williams or Drake May or any of these other guys.
I think you trade Fields.
Flip him?
Yeah, I
think you send Fields out. I think you could get pretty good value for him, especially if he keeps playing like he did.
Yeah.
I mean, the ball he threw to DJ Moore was a dime too. It's not like it was only his legs. Like, he definitely made some plays and some plays on the run too.
He's a good quarterback.
Well.
I'll say.
He had a pretty high
good
completion percentage too.
Yeah, he's not. He's tradable, and you could get a good amount of value for him. And, I don't know. I don't know who the right answer is. We'll get into that when we get to the draft season. But I know one thing: the Bears will probably mess it up. So